Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for the next part of our live reaction playthrough for Dawn Trail. Except today is going to be the first of several videos for the first patch, 7.1 Crossroads. Really looking forward to this. I know it did take me a while to get the Dawn Trail main scenario quests up. Sorry about that. I will be doing a lot better in making sure that Crossroads main scenario at the very least goes up as soon as possible. So this is going to be the first of, I'm guessing, 3 to 4, so it's definitely going to be a lot easier. Anyway, I know I haven't posted anything for a few days. Again, I'm sorry about that. I was getting over being sick, and then I went on vacation, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, I managed to make it back in time just before 7.1 came out, so it's bright and early, and I'm sitting down to play the main scenario. If you remember from the Dawn Trail MSQ, we saved the world, I think. It's hard to say because Wilklamat kind of swooped in at the last second. It was like, I said this before, but Dawn Trail is not my favorite expansion. I mean, it's not horrible. It's definitely not the worst game I've ever played, but I don't know. I just didn't like it. The pacing was bad, and like the characters were a little overbearing, not much real character development. They were repeating themselves constantly. I feel bad just mentioning the bad parts. I mean, there were good parts. Some scenes were really good. The music was phenomenal. Some characters they really did shine on, like with Otis, Galujaja, Bakul Jaja, he was real fun. But yes, so we have officially left the main MSQ behind, and we are going to be setting everything up here for the next, I guess the finishing up Dawn Trail. They did say that they were planning on returning to the old formula where the first 3 patches after like 0.0 expansion comes out, that's going to continue on with the story, and by 7.3 things are going to wrap up before we move on to 7.4 and 5, which is going to set everything up for the next expansion. Okay, so we are going to go straight on in. So we are starting off from in Tuliolo, and we just left the cabins. And I decided to keep Claire in her Viper outfit for this round, at least for this patch. She looks phenomenal in it. Yeah, it's been a while. It really has been a while. I've been taking a little bit of a break from Final Fantasy XIV. But I'm really eager to see where this story takes us next. Okay, so a royal invitation. Eager to hear how you've been getting on. And I'm probably just going to skip over some of these names, so just excuse me on that. It is always a pleasure, as always, Claire. Have you been able to relax lately? Oh, funny story on that. Wonderful, as busy as you've been with the rite of succession, among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliolo at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos of Chabrel Tiel is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner Barukuvu will look after you. Really? That's our first quest, to go and have some tacos? Like, I kind of feel like that was a commercial for some tacos. Sure thing. I guess why not? I'm sorry, I'm still getting over the cough. Like, I've had the cough for days, it's driving me nuts. Oh, was that a message? Oh no, it's just advertising. Well, if it isn't Claire, alone today are you? Usually am. I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Yeah, I haven't posted those videos yet. Go ahead and find the table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. So yeah, I did take care of like all of those quests, I just haven't posted them yet. Just have not had any time. Don't look half bad. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? Like, are they talking to us, or... I mean, I doubt it, but... Oh, wait, I get it. No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Oh. Right, sorry. It's still strange for me, too. Just the other day, you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Usalani. And now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Wow, that's something else. Relying. That feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. And you and everyone else can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Oh, so we did move back. Back in Alexandria, we had Electro. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here I'm helpless. Culinarian, you can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me, gods, I've never felt more embarrassed. Wow, that's a big change. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children, I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I mean, you might be moving too fast. I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. Oh. Hey. Didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolo. Wuklamat. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. That's honestly a really good idea. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Well, that's a happy ending right there. Yeah, hey! Oh, look who it is! I was just about to go and find you, Claire. You don't mind if I mind the company, I hope. I could use a bite to eat myself. Why not? Can we get a break? Seriously? The tacos here never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? What haven't we been up to? Oh. I mean, that's all true. Yeah, I have been doing that a lot recently. Yeah, why not? Been making a name for myself in the Archidon. Fighting in the arena in Alexandria by facing off against tough opponents, I wager you honed your skills even more. As for myself, I am being kept busy with the duties at the palace, but whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Why? Kona and I have something we want to discuss with you, as Dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Okay, but what is this about? Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. Why don't they just want to walk with us? Seriously. They was like, yeah, you take your time, like I'll go on ahead. When you can see that we've clearly finished our food. What was it? Yeah, that. Seems Kona's gone somewhere. Sorry. I mean, he's always going somewhere. It's just clear it is always an honor. Val Kona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you with them before long. Oh, they're all here. Oh, you're all here too. I was expecting it to be with voiceover. Valkona summoned us, though truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hannish culture, you see, in the hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. Kyle and I were likewise summoned, otherwise we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. Oh yes, I'm sure there's a lot to go over there. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Okay, but what are you going to do with it? East you wonder, Thancred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Toral. When did that happen? Y'shtola, meanwhile, is back to researching Crossroads travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. Oh, I'm sure she's having a load of fun there. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. Oh, that's going to be terrifying. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You're like to be stuck with her for a while. Yeah. Oh boy. As for Estinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. Lucky dog. My apologies for the delay. Ain't nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Kaluja and his administration have invited us to attend. Well, we knew this was coming. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yusilani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Yeah, I think she would like that. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends want to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, but they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go, not only to be there for Galuja, but to put this chapter behind us. Why do I have a feeling like that's not going to happen? Thus I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. Well, I mean, we knew her, but we're kind of the ones who, finished her off. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be a little inappropriate? But, yeah, I think we should go. Because you consider yourself responsible for her demise, I take it. But that's not a burden you bear alone. Here's my idea. As vow, I'll attend the funeral as a representative of Tuliolo. Meanwhile, you can go in a personal capacity and watch over the people as they mourn. I mean, I guess it's really the best that can be hoped for, but the people don't know that we killed her, right? I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. I mean, she was already technically dead, so it's only right that we remember who Sphene was to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. And it's settled. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Galuja in the back room. It will be nice to see him again. He's such a sweetheart. That's weird. Why are we being left alone with Kona? Crossroads. Ominous. Okay, Kona. Though I too would ideally attend the funeral, given the circumstances. I think it is best that Lamachi represents us. Besides, I need to be on hand to oversee the city's repairs, which has taken longer than expected. When that work is complete, we will finally look into installing new thrones. Do you really need to? But to have Father's throne here still, it makes me feel he is close by. I'm quite happy for it to remain for a while. I mean, that kind of makes sense, but, you know, it's sliced in half. Like, that for me would just be like a constant reminder that my brother killed our father. I think personally it would be best to just remove the whole throne concept. Okay, so where was it? There. Okay, so where was it again? It's been a while since I've been there, in case you couldn't tell. Okay, yeah. Into the back room. I mean, why else would we be here? Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. Appears to have been preserved by those who rue the loss of culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful for their foresight. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that this was not always something that everyone agreed with, but hey. Hello, Galuja. It's so nice to see you. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part, though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shayla's always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always, I see. By way of a treat, I brought you galu al chocolate. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. Aww. Thank you, Lamachi, and thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you there. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. Funny story where that came from. It's much the same here according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Yeah! I mean, we kind of had a little role in that, so funny how that works, isn't it? Time travel, what can you do? Oh, that was quick. Why not? Okay, so there's only supposed to be 7 quests here, so... Well, Codex. Though I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. He probably would have, wouldn't he? I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. That's a nice way to look at it. For the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold a funeral speaks to their enduring love for Sveen. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. One of their number can better explain what the ceremony will entail. From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open, Oblivion has come a long way. I mean, isn't that what they always were doing? was relieved to see that Galucha is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. Okay, Alexandria mourns. He wishes to go and collect the flower for the funeral. Flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with. Gosen. He was apparently Svein's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. I didn't think about that fact that, Svein might have had, attendees and servants and everything, but you know what? She was queen, so it makes sense. But then again, she loved her people like they were family, so kind of hard to really put that all together. Oh, there we go. Resolution. Judging from all the activity, I presume the funeral will be held here. While it appears souls are still being issued, supply must be limited now that they are no longer being harvested. Grim faces of the queue tell the tale. Well, they're just gonna have to get used to that whole concept. All correspondence will be handled by the Wing of Reflection, so this is my first time speaking with Gosen. Uklamet's attendance will surely help straighten relations between the two nations. I get the strong impression that both Tuliolo and Alexandria wish to put this tragic past behind them. Makes sense that Svein had loyal aides with such as Gosen, given how much time she dedicated to walking among her people. Yeah, that is true. Here he is, Gosen. Why are you making me read? Come on, give us some voice acting here. I'm Vawuklamat of Tuliolo. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Svein's funeral. We are honored, truly. I have seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Gosen, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of the state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. More regulators? What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Rest assured they are not a requirement. We're aware that your people do not use them. You see, people in the Alexandrian of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. And such tokens were black. It was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. Okay. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we're able. I see. I smell a rat. Irregulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Svein. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. Proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. don't know, I have like this really bad feeling that I do not like. I'm more surprised that people are still wearing the regulators, because you know what? We're going to be running out of souls soon. Oh, wow. More than I thought they would be.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together. Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we must. We will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
That's just life, buddy. Get used to it. It sucks.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
Man, that's going to be a huge culture shock there.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
I mean, they technically have a new king.
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
Your mother? Been wondering about her.
I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
Why is it bringing us right up and close to those black regulators? I don't like that. Nope. I have a very, very bad feeling. They're practically saying that this is going to lead to something bad. Seems a good place to continue our conversation. Simply leaving Alexandria won't solve all their problems, I fear. The problem runs deeper than that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. Seeing that child reminded me of myself, how hard it was for me to accept that grandfather was gone. But that sadness is what gave me the strength to come this far, and I would never choose to forget it, never. I hope the altar can provide comfort to those who need it. Hey, Galuja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Yeah, 'cause I really want to know. There's not really that many Mamulja. Sal searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamulja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she would have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Yeah, do you want to know your mother? Because chances are, we're not going to like what we find. I think so, even if it makes me feel sad. I want to know her. So I want to try looking again, and if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want. Then I'll help you. I like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria, and we're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. All right, thank you, everyone. Okay, so that's 2 quests down, only about 5 more to go. So what's the next one? Oh, the dungeon! But I think we'll pause it there. All right. So that was over relatively quick, but let's go ahead and have just a quick talk about it. So it kind of went like what we were expecting. We always knew there was going to be a funeral ever since we saw the trailer. I think most of us guessed that there would be some kind of a funeral or memorial service for Sphene. And the people, they're not adjusting to this well. To be fair, they did spend, most of their lives believing death was not a permanent thing, and technically it's not, but you know what I mean. So they're having a really hard time readjusting to this. So they probably still have some souls, away in storage for now, but that is going to run out sooner or later. And then a really harsh reality is going to be waiting for them. But I'm a little bit surprised that some of them are thinking about leaving Solution 9 and going out into the world. The world is, a big, dangerous place, so they could very easily, die there. But they make a good point in that, their future is uncertain here. I mean, they do technically have a new king, but, he's still a little kid. The administration and, Oblivion are helping him out, taking care of things, but it's yet to be seen what kind of a king he's going to be. But I have a feeling he's going to be a good one. He needs a lot of support right now, but you know what, Galuja, he has what it takes. I mean, look at who his grandfather was. But still, this is interesting in that we're actually talking about Galuja's mother. Now, I have been wondering for a while who his mother could be and, how she got together with Zaroja. For a long time there, I was thinking, maybe Galuja would just happen to have been a failed, clone. Maybe they were experimenting with cloning and that sort of happened. I mean, it would explain the lack of mother figure in his life, but yeah, so this research station, sorry. So we're going to be learning more about the research station. We did see a few scenes in the trailer that looked like we were getting some flashback of memory. So I'm guessing the Echo is going to have some kind of a role there to play. I have a very bad feeling about this station, but more than anything, those black regulators, they seem to be drawing unusual amount of attention to those things, which is basically saying, keep your eye on these. They're going to be playing an important role later, and not necessarily for a good thing. So, what do we do now? What's going to happen here? I have no clue. I have honestly no idea how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to tie back in with Kona. Maybe we're going to be learning more about, his past and everything. Maybe we try to track down his biological family, which is really the only reason why I can think of why he would be fighting so hard to protect the Hesso. Like when we saw him in the trailer with the broken glasses and everything, he looked ready to fight for something. But yeah, so I think that's a good way to start things off for 7.1. We still have, I'd say, 2 to 3 more episodes before we wrap things up with the MSQ, which is supposed to be shorter this time around. I guess they're trying to adjust, things for pacing right now. Because pacing is perhaps the biggest problem with Dawn Trail. So they're trying to, I'm guessing that they're trying everything that they can to, try to correct that. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Who knows where we're going to go from here, but I hope you all enjoy it. And I will be seeing you all again very soon. So until next time, everyone, take care.